Well, folks, we are going to visit the Kings Mountain National Military Park. I come up upon this on my way in, figured I'd stop and take a picture of it. So do a little bit of video. There's also a building back here. I'm not quite sure what that is. There is a road going back, but it's blocked off. So it might be something I have. Good morning, folks. Why don't y'all come along with me while we roam around Kings Mountain National Military Park visitors area and the battlefield, and we're going to see what we can find up here. So we'll see y'all at the visitor center. Well, folks, we're going to start this battlefield trail walk. It's 1.5 mile walk, and here you can read about what went on. So, and it looks like it might be paved, so it might not be too bad. So, but I'll bring you back if we have anything of significance. So, collecting or disturbing plants, wildlife, or other natural features is prohibited. They have benches here. You can see the shadows or the dark people they have up here on the mountain to replicate the battle. Fighting in a forest. Here we go. Kings Mountain would have enabled us to oppose a superior force with advantage had it not been covered with wood which sheltered the Americans and enabled them to fight in their favorite manner. And coming up on the Colonial Road. So they took the trail around it. But right there you can see there's a sign. Right there is the Colonial Road. That's the road that would have been used. And I guess if you want, you can walk down through it, or you can take this trail around. So, water source. I don't think you have trouble finding water in here. Here we have a marker. Here fell Major William Chronicle, October 7, 1780, erected by the Major William Chronicle chapter, DAR, Gastonia, North Carolina, in 1930. So this is where the Major fell. Okay. This is really hurting my knees going down. Man. Okay. Let's go back up and see what this thing says. Okay. Local boys and spies. Carolyn Hambright's militia. Okay. And this would be number 3 on the audio tour. Let's see if we can read this. Sacred to the memory of Major William Chronicle, Captain John Matforks, William William Rabb, and John Boyd, who were killed at this place on the 7th of October, 1780. It's hard to read, folks. Actually, it's easier to read with the phone on it. Colonel Ferguson, an officer of His Britannic Majesty, was defeated and killed at this place on the 7th of October, 1780. Okay. Hope y'all can see that. And that's the rock they placed here as a marker, and this was placed here later. Okay. Man. Okay, so then the trail goes this way. There's some more water down in there. And they place benches along the way, it looks like, so you can take a break if you need to. I do have somebody in front of me. She's actually listening to the trail, or the audio tour. It's very pretty out here, folks. Hear the wildlife. You can hear the little babbling of the brook going through. There's more water right down there. I guess I should have used my action cam and listened to the tour on my phone. Crossing over the brook. This shows you Loyalist, South Carolina, Cleveland's North Carolina militia, Tennessee militia, Virginia militia, North Carolina militia, Winston's North Carolina, and North Carolina. So had them surrounded. Here we are. Ben Hollingsworth and myself took right up the side of the mountain and fought our way from tree to tree up to the summit. I recollect I stood behind one tree and fired until the bark was nearly all knocked off and my eyes pretty well filled with it. One fella shaded me pretty close, for his bullet took a piece out of my gun stock. Before I was aware of it, I found myself apparently between my own regiment and the enemy, as I judged by seeing the paper the Whigs wore in their hats and the pine twigs the Tories wore in theirs. Thomas Young, 16 years old, South Carolina patriot. Okay, I am here. Okay, looks like we're getting close to the top of the mountain, folks. Man. You know, I would say this whole thing is wheelchair accessible. As long as you got a motorized wheelchair with a good battery, or a couple of dedicated, young, hard-working, strong people to push you. Whew. I'm gonna sit down for a minute, folks. Actually, I'm not. That bench is soaked. Okay. We're not at the top. That was a false summit. Oh well. And another panel. Drive the enemy. And y'all can pause that stuff and read it. We have a in honor of the 3 known African American patriots and others who participated in the Battle of Kings Mountain: Isaiah Bowman, John Brody, and Andrew Ferguson. There you go. If you have any relatives out there, I hope they see it. Know they got relatives that fought for the liberation of this country from a tyrant king. Americans in redcoats. There's a monument, folks. Okay, folks, I don't know if y'all can read that. There it is. You may be able to pull it up and read that stuff. I don't know. There we go. And whoa, too much. Yeah. Okay. Now we're looking down. We came from down yonder, folks. Way down yonder. You can't see the trail from up here, but we were down yonder. There's the monument. I guess you could climb up the stairs and read that stuff, but my knees are already hurting. So we got another little stone coming up here, and I'll bring y'all back when I get there. Here we go, folks. You got the American flag there. I think it'd be more appropriate if they just put the flag that was being used by the Patriots during the American Revolution. Loyal Carolina men. Here we go. Ferguson's Tory regiments, North and South Carolina. Here we go, caught in the crossfires. That's what you don't want happen. So. Yep. We got another monument down here, folks. Okay, I gotta stop and get a picture. Okay. Sorry if I got y'all dizzy there. I know they use three different size rocks or bricks. Okay, here we go. This is easier to read. To commemorate the victory of Kings Mountain, October 7th, 1780, erected by the government of the United States, to the establishment of which the heroism and patriotism of those who participated in this battle so largely contributed. American forces were organized. Washington County, Virginia, Colonel William Campbell. Washington County, North Carolina, now Tennessee, Colonel John Sevier. Sullivan County, North Carolina, now Tennessee, Colonel Isaac Shelby. 96th District, South Carolina, and Rowan County, North Carolina, were Colonel James Williams. Wilkes and Surrey Counties, North Carolina. Well, I'll let y'all read that. I'm not going to read it all. So, there you go. Reserves were Colonel James Johnston. And British Forces commanders, Major Patrick Ferguson, killed, and Captain Abraham de Peyster. Okay, what's this one say? On this field, the Patriot forces attacked and totally defeated an equal force of Tories and British regular troops. The British commander, Major Patrick Ferguson, was killed and his entire force was captured. After suffering heavy loss, this brilliant victory marked the turning point of the American Revolution. And here we have killed in action. And I'm not going to, there's a lot of names up there. So y'all can pause it and read it. And there was also 24 unknown. So. I have to say, folks, if you are ever in the area of this place, you really, really need to visit this park. Of course, I like early American history. We didn't learn it really good in school. Thought we did at the time, but we didn't. And I guess, honestly, schools don't have time to teach you about every single battle that takes place. This is one, I think, that should have been included in honor of Lieutenant Colonel James Hawthorne, commander of Colonel William Hill's regiment, York County troops, in the Battle of Kings Mountain, 7 October. Colonel Hill, having been disabled by wounds received in a former engagement. Okay. Okay, coming up on a marker, Major Ferguson Falls. Yep. This is where Colonel Ferguson fell, right here. Probably propped him against, I wouldn't say that tree, but a tree. We'll go down and check out this marker. Oh, gosh. Okay, folks. Here we go. This tablet marks the spot where Colonel Frederick Hambright was wounded. Okay, so he was wounded here. I'm guessing, I'm not sure where the battle was going, so somebody's placing a lot of rocks on top here. Quartz. Okay. Okay, folks. We're going back downhill again. There's another monument down here. Then we got to go back uphill over there. So I'll bring y'all back when we get to the monument. Okay, this one is to the memory of Colonel Patrick Ferguson, 71st Regiment Highland Light Infantry, born in Aberdeenshire, Scotland in 1744, killed October 7, 1780 in action at Kings Mountain while in command of the British troops. A soldier of military distinction and of honor, this memorial is from the citizens of the United States of America in token of their appreciation of the bonds of friendship and peace between them and the citizens of the British Empire, erected October 7th, 1930. Oh, okay. Well, for some reason, put a big pile of rocks back here. So, and up we go again, folks. Well, folks, as Elvis said, I think the end is near. He didn't say it like that. He said it a lot better, but the visitor center's right there. So, I know we have a couple more storyboards to go by. So, you can see all the damage done by the hurricane that came through here several months ago. American victors. And I'm sorry about the reflection. It's overcast today, but I still got a reflection. Americans vanquished. Okay. Carolina backwoodsman. Okay. Liberty. And this is the last storyboard of the loop. Folks, that was the Battle of Kings Mountain. Okay, let's go inside. I'll bring y'all back later. Well, folks, I appreciate everybody following along with me on this trip around the Kings Mountain National Military Park battlefield. I thought it was very interesting. I know I'm not going to do it justice in this editing, but I hope y'all enjoyed what there was. And I will probably post an unedited version of it because I know I filmed too much out there to get it all in one video. So appreciate everybody following along, and please hit that subscribe button for me. I sure would appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed day.